My name is Anuj Naheta. I'm from Mumbai, India. Born, brought up in Bombay as well and studied at USC. Currently working on projects within Ayurveda and the space industry. That's who I am in a nutshell, and spirituality is something that I believe in quite a lot.
I wanted to ask you about your journey with being a Jain, because your parents are Jains, and how far back does that go in your family?
I would say 10 generations or even more than that. We were traditionally Hindus that basically converted kind of into Jainism.
When we went to the Jain temple, which is kind of like your version of Mecca, because every Jain has to visit this particular temple in their lifetime, right?
These temples actually contain their, imprints of their feet. They contain like their teachings essentially.
Yeah.
So we actually go to them as, it's like a shrine, but when you go to a temple as per Jainism, you don't really go to ask for anything. You go there, you look at, the exemplaries and you say, okay, what else do I have to do to become as perfect of a human being as you are? And you've lived your life with the ultimate form of compassion and non-violence towards every single living organism.
My friend Jairaj, he said that thinking negative thoughts about another person is a form of violence.
Exactly. In our belief system, the intent is as important, if not more than the action.
You mentioned, we were chatting earlier, and you said that Gandhi's guru was a Jain.
So one of Gandhi's main Gurujis, who basically before he went to South Africa and started this whole movement, was Srimad Rajchandra. Srimad Rajchandra was by the age of 26, he was already writing books on the soul, which he had already experienced. It was a very high elevated soul. There was three things I think that Gandhi was told not to do. If I'm not mistaken, one was I think no eating meat, or any non-vegetarian, no drinking, and no womanizing. The whole concept of non-violence is actually the fundamental belief of our system. It's original to the Jain system. It's always existed. Was there, is there, will be there. And this system means you treat every single living organism like you would treat yourself. One of our more known gurus who has a lot of following goes by the name of Rakesh Guruji. He's a sort of disciple or follower of Srimad Rajchandra, who was Gandhi's guru. There was a scripture that Gandhi's guru wrote on the soul, which took him 1.5 hours to write. Rakesh Guruji took 4 years and even more to actually decipher the actual meaning of what that is, and has now built a 1 million+ following based on his principles, which exclusively focus on the soul.
What do you mean by the soul?
The soul is actually what we consider is the most powerful thing in the universe. We don't believe in creation, we don't believe in destruction. We believe in transmigration. Like every soul was always there, is there, will be there. And we just change forms and lives based on your karmic debt. Eventually, our concept is all about liberating from the cycle of life and death. What we do as people is our soul, when it takes a form of a body, it creates vibrations. Every vibration destroys life at a very micro level. No human being or any lower organism likes to get hurt. When essentially you stop, causing pain to living beings, that's when you reach what we call as moksha, is the liberation from the cycle of life and death, which means that your soul goes and rests at the top of the universe, formless, completely formless. Once you tap into the higher dimensions of your soul, you're able to perceive the world as it is. You're able to perceive everything from the elementary particles that make up an atom all the way to the entire universe at the same time, and also the past, present, and future. Once you understand the value and power of your soul and how you actually increase the power of your soul, which is by reducing your karmic load, reducing all the negative impacts and then impacting positively as much as possible. Everything that happens to you today is your fault. Everything you do today is basically creating something for the future.
Firstly, how do you define empathy from a Jain perspective?
Treat every living organism like you would treat yourself. That speaks for itself. The universe is structured in the most perfect way. We believe in the laws of karma. Everything is energy, everything flows, and everything is basically determined by the laws of karma.
That's what I feel. That's why I'm making the film, because I saw what giving does and how it came back to me in unexpected ways. If you could make the world a better place, what would you change or what would you do?
First of all, I would change the schooling system, which is basically the way kids are actually taught in their primary schools, has very little aspects of spirituality, which I believe is an essential element for any human being. And imbibing this at a very young age is what I do believe will create the next generation of very stable human beings who don't have, fluctuating emotions in this weird social media age. It's very important for every kid in the absolute primary stages to understand the power of the soul, how to actually live your life and why, and how to accept the negative that comes to you and the attitude in which with you accept the negative. So
Well, folks, we've described karma.
namaste.
Namaste.